And we are live once again. Hello and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum, and as the title suggests, we're going to do a rice dish today. Um, Real quick, a special shout out to a couple of my friends, longtime friends, Miss Katie and Miss Kim, who were part of the inspiration while we're also at it. Young Maddie, who is Katie's daughter that just graduated high school. A lot of ladies have asked for kind of a, they wanted to see me cook live and uncut. So, without further ado, we are going to get underway. Now, this is a rice dish, and real quick, we're going to talk a little bit about rice, okay? And that being said, I'm going to show you a couple of different types of rice, and then we're going to get into the actual cooking, okay? Now, the one type of rice that everyone is very familiar with is just your typical long grain rice, okay? This is the standard American rice. Everyone's familiar with it. Everybody knows this. It cooks up light, fluffy, and separate. And this is the one that I mean, it's grown here in the United States. As a matter of fact, before the Civil War, I heard that South Carolina had the best rice. So it wasn't cotton that started the plantations; it was rice. We oftentimes think that it was cotton and slavery. No, it was rice, believe it or not. Okay, so for those who didn't know that. All right, but real quick, while we're on that subject, some of the best long grain rice is actually grown right here in Missouri and in California and places like that. All right. Real quick, the long grain rice that we're also familiar with comes in Chinese takeout. You all know that it gets hard and all that. Just add a little bit of water, throw it in the microwave, and it's just fine for leftovers. Okay? Now, another type that, if I can find the bag that I had, another type that we should all be somewhat familiar with. We see this every now and again. This is white medium grain rice. Now, you can buy this at Walmart. You can buy it just about anywhere. It makes a great risotto, okay, or risotto, however you want to say it. There's some more specialty types like arborio. You'll pay a little bit more. I do know that you can make risotto with this sort of stuff, but is it as good as, say, something like risotto, the arborio rice for risotto? I don't know. If there's anybody watching who's kind of a connoisseur on that, let me know in the comments below, or get in touch with me on Facebook or on my Twitter account if you know otherwise. But this also, medium grain rice also works very, very well, believe it or not, works very well for salads, okay? It doesn't get, it doesn't get hard like long grain rice, okay? So this is absolutely perfect for for salads as well. Okay, so there we go. Let's move on. Move on. Now, this, wrong one. This is a particular type of rice. It's kind of a medium grain / short grain hybrid that's grown in California. Perfect for sushi, okay? Because it gets sticky and it makes the little rice balls very well with just an added syrup and things like that. Absolutely fantastic. Please, there's one particular YouTuber out there, creator out there. He says you can use the medium grain. I call shenanigans on that because this does not get sticky like the short grain. Unfortunately, if you're a sushi fanatic, your best bet is to go ahead and get the California. I don't know why Japan doesn't import sushi rice to the U.S. because it's very popular out on the East Coast. I'm sorry, the West Coast. Sushi is very popular, and thankfully California does grow some very good sushi rice. So don't make that mistake thinking you can get away with medium grain white rice for making sushi. That is just totally bogus. And maybe as here here in one of the future Surviving Romance live streams, we might actually look at doing sushi. You know, we'll look at doing different types of sushi, okay? But in the meantime, there you go. There's your sushi rice. Now, this is kind of a one that's really hard to do, and it's brown long grain rice. A lot of people are intimidated by brown rice. I'll be honest with you, we're going to show how to do this eventually here on the channel because brown rice is actually healthier for you. However, storing it and cooking it are the challenges. Now, for cooking it, like I said, we'll look at doing an episode doing one with brown rice. Storing it, if you're going to use it right away, you could pretty well just, you know, leave it in the bag, keep it out on the, you know, the shelf, whatever. But if you're going to keep it for a while, keep it in the freezer, okay? That'll buy you about 6 months of time, okay? So we're going to put this back in the freezer real quick, and then we're going to get on with it. Now, I have here 2 cups of long grain white rice, your standard American rice, as we said earlier. Okay, I have over here a total of 4 cups of regular tap water. Now, real quick, do me a favor. If you're one that you don't like the taste of your city water, things like that, buy yourself one of these, and I promise you, it's cheaper in the long run than buying the stupid bottled water, and it's easier on your local landfill. So please, just buy one of these. I got this at Walmart, like 14 bucks, okay? So if you don't like the taste of your city water, or, you know, there could be possible contaminants in your water, whatever, get yourself one of these. Don't be buying the stupid bottled water, okay? That's hard on the landfill, and, you know, actually, believe it or not, those bottles are made in China, and of all the things, some of the things that I've been hearing about what the Chinese do to those bottles is downright scary. So, don't do that. All right, let's get on with this. Now, the reason why we're going to go ahead and go with 4 cups of water, I know there are some cooks that say, oh, you could do it with X amount of, you know, X amount of water, whatever. I usually, in this case, will go ahead and go by what's on the package. The reason why I will go with what's on the package is simply put, because, you know, rice is an agricultural product. It's very, how should I say it? Every batch is going to be different. Every bag's going to be different. Shoot, even every batch in the same bag will be different. So, I go by the directions on the package as kind of my fail-safe because I would rather cook out extra water than not have enough, okay? That's just me, all right? Maybe you might be different. And I know some of you are sitting there saying, well, Prince Magnum, you could get a rice cooker, but we don't go through that much rice, and I live in an apartment complex, and let's face facts, I just don't have I don't have that, you know, like a lot of people out there, I have spatial challenge problems, okay? Now, as this starts coming up to a boil, we are not going to do a whole lot of, you know, we're not going to add the rice, the 2 cups of rice, until this water reaches a boil. However, we do need to do some seasoning, okay? We do need to season. Rice tastes absolutely dead, and I mean dead, without a little bit of salt, okay? Now, while we're on the subject, guys, you know, when you get married or you're in a long-term relationship, whatever, okay? It's a new age. You know that the in-laws are the hardest to get on board with you. So if you're trying to do a simple, you know, rice dish like this, little secret from Prince Magnum. Where'd I put that? Keeping different types of salts around, okay? If it's just Princess Faye and I, regular old kosher salt, okay? I don't use table salt. The iodine that they put in it as an anti-clumping, it makes me sick, okay? And it messes with my heart. Believe it or not, I found that kosher salt works just fine. You pay a little bit more, but it's one of those things, okay? Now, in this particular case, like I said, this is what we're going to use today. However, because, you know, if you're a married man or engaged to a woman, whatever the case may be, um, keep some other different types of salts around, okay? Uh, you could do sea salt. However, what I found whenever I'm trying to impress somebody, you know, maybe one of my wife's friends or, you know, something like that, so she can go, oh my gosh, you know, I love your, you know, the way your husband is, you know, stuff like that, you know. Because I think Princess Faye should always, and I mean always, have bragging rights. You know, come on. Here's one that you can get right at Walmart. A lot of local grocery stores carry this. Hawaiian black salt, one of my favorites. Okay, Hawaiian black salt, always nice. Or pink Himalayan. Okay, you can swap these out, kind of willy nilly. Just use the same amount that you do in kosher salt, and it brings different flavors. The reason why they're colored is because of the minerals that are in the salt. Okay. And they do bring their own personal flavor. My Princess Faye, as you could tell, really likes the Hawaiian black salt. It's one of her favorites. She just likes the mineral bite that comes with it. Myself, I do like the pink Himalayan, and there are others out there. There's several different types. If you can't find it, there's mail order catalogs and things like that, and you can even get some on that fancy World Wide Web. Anyhow, you found this through YouTube and you found it, or you found it on Facebook, chances are you know how to use the World Wide Web. All right, onward and upward. All right, now I've got some kosher salt here that basically I keep around just specifically for this. Now, if you see this on television or you see it, you know, you see it on these cooking shows where cooks kind of get to where they, you know, they don't really measure a whole lot out. That's because if you looked at it so long, they pretty well have gotten used to it. That's going to be no different here. Basically, what you're looking for is to get your water up to the taste of sea salt, you know, sea water. You know what that tastes like, you're just fine. You know, basically, if it tastes like water with a lot of salt, you're in the ballpark. Okay? Because again, you know, again, I'm just going to say it. There we go. You know, rice needs salt, okay? Now, that takes care of that part. Now, what does rice and potatoes, and eggs all have in common? They're a great way to get rid of a lot, and I mean a lot of leftovers, okay? You can put it in, you know, soup. Soup is always a plus. You can make all sorts of dishes out of it. Now, after a little bit of reconnaissance in my refrigerator, I came up with some slivered onions, okay? Probably about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups, okay? I've got some shrimp that's been thawed out and drained, okay? Got quite a bit there. And then, of course, because this is going, we're going to have to cook this. That's why well, yeah, you can see the 2 pans. Again, the greatest cooking usually takes more than a couple of pots, all right? And we're getting close to boil. So what we're going to do is I basically got my pan here warming up. Because this is a non-stick pan, do me a favor. Don't use anything abrasive, okay? Or I'm going to use a spatula on you. No, I'm teasing. If you will, this particular, basically use a silicone spatula like this. Even using plastic, you know, like something like this, could possibly scrape up your pan. So don't do that. Don't do that, okay? I mean, I guess you could try to pass it off as, you know, black pepper in it, but no, that's a bad idea. That is a really bad idea, so don't do that, okay? Use one of these in your non-stick as much as possible, all right? Now, basically right now, we're just kind of waiting for this to warm up. Now, we're going to need a cooking medium, a fat, okay? It's going to bring flavor, and it's going to bring, it's going to help the food cook better than just trying to do this without anything, okay? So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically look at, you know, bringing on a nice, hang on a second, I need another spatula. uh, you know, basically it's going to bring on a nice flavor. Okay, so you could use just regular vegetable oil. You could use there we go, bubblage. All right, actually we'll wait a second on that. You could use anything you want. Okay. As far as a cooking medium, shoot, you can even use lard, butter, whatever. What we're going to do is, because I'm not going to put any bacon in it, but I wouldn't mind a bacon flavor, we're going to use actual bacon drippings. A couple teaspoons is all you'll need. All right? And once that melts down, we're going to get on with the next. All right, there we go. Got a good bubble going. There we go. 2 cups of rice going in. Boom. All right, not going to jerk around. We're going to get on with that. All right? Give it a good stir. And you're going to come back and stir this every now and again. Okay? You're going to come back and stir this every now and again. All right? Reason why? So it doesn't burn on the bottom. Now, this is definitely a time I would also suggest turn down the temperature just a little. Okay? Just a little. Now, again, couple teaspoons or, you know, of bacon drippings. Again, if you're one of those super health conscientious people, you could use regular cold pressed olive oil or that grapeseed oil, whatever your flavor. Again, bacon drippings, it's not that bad for you, okay? I need to quit smoking. It's about time for a cigarette. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and grab the onions, okay? Slivered onions, right into the pan, okay? Now, this is a great way to get rid of leftovers, which we had a bunch of that. All right. Now, hear the light sizzling? It's not that extreme. You want a light sizzle. This is not sautéing. This is a sweat. We're looking to drive off a little bit of the moisture. We're not looking to actually bring on any color, okay? We're just looking to soften it. And as we drive off the moisture, the onions will caramelize, bring a sweeter flavor, just so much better. I would definitely recommend this. And if you wanted a little bit later in, you could add a couple cloves of garlic, minced fine. Absolutely wonderful. Garlic's good for the heart and everything. Got to keep those wives healthy so they can stick around and, you know, have many years. You know, you can give them the best years that way. Okay, so don't be afraid to cook healthy for them. Again, there are healthier, you know, non-saturated fat oils on the market. We don't mind a little bit of bacon grease. Okay. Now, while we're here, we're also going to add. Why not add a little bit of flavor in, help drive off more of that moisture? I just wanted to get, you know, I just wanted to get them coated up real good. All right. We're going to go ahead, because Princess Faye loves it, we're going to go ahead and go with some black Hawaiian salt. Okay. About that much. A few grinds. Again, whatever your flavor. Don't take a whole lot. And again, I'm going to say this. This is super important to remember. Okay. Super, super important to remember. Cooks don't add salt to food to make it taste salty. They add it to enhance the flavor. Okay? Basically, if you put enough salt on there that's all you taste, seek professional help. All right. There we go. Again, occasionally come back and stir. Okay? Now, some of you might be asking the question, how long does it take to cook rice? Well, I'm not going to tell you, okay? I'm not going to tell you. Why am I not going to tell you? Because, simply put, I don't know. Again, this is an agricultural product. Every batch is different, okay? So, it might take 5 minutes. It might take 6 minutes. It could take all the way up to 10 minutes. It depends on the humidity, the temperature of the day, what was the rice like when it was cooked? How long has it been on the shelf? A lot of variables. We are not going to concern ourselves with those variables. We're going to do exactly what we're supposed to do. We're going to watch it, okay? We're going to watch it like a hawk, okay? So don't you go running off. to check Facebook, Twitter, and all that, you stay put. Get yourself a lovely beverage and stick around. What's my idea of a lovely beverage? Coffee. What's your lovely beverage? Leave it in the comments box below. Good stuff, Maynard. All right. Now, you can already start, by now, you can already start to smell the nice aroma the onions are giving off. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't smell this. I'm sorry. But I can tell you it smells really good. Okay? Now, it's really starting to come together. And again, you're looking for kind of the onions to kind of get translucent. And definitely, again, you can just, by now you should be able to smell it. I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit more, okay? Down to about medium, okay? Again, if you hear a lot of sizzling, that's a bad thing, okay? It's going to start, if it starts turning brown, that's a bad thing. When it stays, well, kind of like that, you're in good shape. And again, you hear a light sizzle, all right? Back to the rice, okay? Again, now something that should also be noted, when you're cooking rice on a stovetop, from time to time, you might want to turn down the heat. Slow down your boil, okay? The reason being, so the rice has enough time to hydrate, okay? And your long grain rice will release starch into the water. And basically, as that starch reaches the water, the boiling point will go up. So do yourself a favor. Watch it. Bubble watch, as one of my favorite cooks says. Oh, getting a little. There we go. There we go again. Temperature management. Smells great. Smells great. I wish you guys were here with me. Okay. Another thing is that the amount of onions will, don't worry about the amount of onions, because as you can tell, they're starting to shrink up a little bit. Okay. And that's a good thing too, because with 2 cups of rice and some onions, again, no-brainer stuff. Now, we've got our thoroughly drained shrimp. We're not looking to cook the shrimp. It's already been cooked. So, but because it came out of the fridge, we're going to add it to the onions to kind of drive off a little bit of moisture and to kind of help it, we're just looking to warm it through, okay? Again, you've got the bacon drippings in here for the flavor, along with some salt already. Don't add any more. We can adjust that later, okay? Also, if you wanted to at this point in time, you could also legitimately add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese to this dish, okay? Or some people like cheddar. I mean, I love Parmesan. Asiago is a great one. Be sure that it's freshly grated, not the stuff from the can, folks. Especially if you're going to have the in-laws over. We're not, but just in case. All right, this is just trying to get rid of some leftovers, okay? Now, while we're in between all of this, it should also be noted that some people will say everything has to be fresh. Everything has to be fresh. Man, what am I supposed to do with the stuff that's about to grow fur in the fridge? Throw it out back? Hope the neighbors don't notice? Not a good idea. So, cost management, folks. Cost management. Husbands. A husband that can whip up a dish in a moment's notice. Maybe you got company coming over, okay? For those who've stuck around the Prince Magnum channel for a little while, might remember the episode, Surviving Romance, Food on the Fly. I mean, what if that happened to you? Wife calls up, says, baby, I'm bringing a friend over. What are we having tonight for dinner? You've got to think of this stuff on the fly. Husbands, it's important. That's how you stay out of divorce court, When your wife can sit there and go, I got the best husband in the world. He did this, he did that for me. Was able to throw together. I'm going to say it like this. The smartest husbands, the husbands that never see divorce court, are the ones that can cook. All right. So, we're getting close. Rice is getting close to being done. Looking great. looking great. Now, this is exactly kind of what you're starting to look for, okay? Again, bubble watch, bubble watch. You want to keep it at a nice boil, but you're not looking for an absolute full-on rolling boil. You want the water to stick around. Now, it would be better if I had a lid on it, but I have a hard time keeping an eye on it because doing this live stream, for those who don't know, I do wear corrective vision glasses, you know, spectacles. I said spectacles. I do wear them, but the problem is that because I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous and we're supposed to stay anonymous at the level of press, radio, and film, and the internet now, what I do is I will, what I actually do is I use the glasses to kind of protect my anonymity out of respect for Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay? So, for those, if you see me out in public, camera's not usually on me, hey, don't worry about it. You are welcome to still get your pictures with me, even if I don't have the shades. Okay? You know, that sort of thing. So, there we go. Now, that's starting to look like something. Could we add anything else? Well, you dang Skippy, we can. Let's see. Let's see what we got in the cabinet. Black pepper. By the way, you can get this at Dollar Tree for $1, okay? Freshly ground, folks. Especially if you're going to have company, like the in-laws. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. We could do, no, that could, some dried cilantro. Dried cilantro. Always a plus. And you know what? I think that'll do it. Let's keep it simple. All right. Now I'm going to turn off the heat for the sweat. Okay. And again, we've driven off as much moisture as possible. Okay. But don't move it from the heat. Let it do its thing. Okay, we're getting there. Now, just looking at this, okay? There we go. Now, I'm going to turn off the heat. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn off the heat and let it coast. Now, why on the cooking shows do they taste test? Because that's what you're supposed to do. Does it taste good? Is it done? Now, we're not going to employ a Ouija board or any special mediums to figure out when this rice is done. What we are going to do, we're going to get a spoon. And good thing I just did dishes. Okay? This is definitely a time to keep a couple of spoons handy, okay? Because as we get close, how close are we? Okay, it's got a few more minutes. Okay? Put that in the sink, all right? So we're going to give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to turn the heat back on, let it kind of go for a few more minutes, okay? But I'm going to turn it on pretty low, okay? Just enough to, again, make sure that the moisture sticks around. You'll know, okay? Now, some of you are probably wondering about the topping. There we go. There you go. Now, in a moment, when we go to serve this, now is also a great time to get some bowls, okay? You're gonna get your bowls ready, all right? And it doesn't have to be anything special, anything fancy. A bowl, okay? Unless you got company coming over, that's a different story. Get something like this, you know, some fancy stuff, okay? Again, in-laws are coming over. Gotta cook. Be fancy, okay? Gotta impress them in-laws, all right? Now, but since it's just me right now, Princess Faye is at work, so when she gets home, she'll have dinner waiting on her. She wasn't specific on when she'll be home, but You get the idea. Wow. We went a good minute. All right, good deal. Again, I can't see. Now, because of, you know, how we're doing this. All right, there we go. There's the cilantro. As much as you want or as little as you want. And cilantro. And because the moisture has cooked out, we just give it a few minutes and it'll rehydrate itself and it'll be like fresh. Be like it. Won't be exactly like it. Close enough. There you go. And again, fresh ground black pepper. Not the stuff from the can. When you start grinding spices like this, it starts losing its punch right away. So don't do that. There we go. As much as you like. And I love fresh ground black pepper. It's just so much more peppery, I guess. Is that a word? I don't know. There we go. There we go. Now that smells fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry, I tease again. You all can't smell what it is. Let's go. Oh, it's fantastic. It's gonna be great. Okay, now, definitely you want to retreat from the heat right now. Okay? There you go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, we're gonna get that off the burner. That's what it should look like. That's exactly what you want to see. Okay? Anything else would be inferior. Okay? Now, this is definitely at the point where I'm going to tell you all, get this off the heat because that is still hot and it'll continue to cook this. Okay? And that's a good way. I've seen people make that mistake thinking, okay, well, the heat's off, it's over. No, no, because it's going to burn at the bottom if you don't retreat from the heat. Give it a stir every now and again, and this is pretty well perfectly done. If you like it a little softer, add a little bit more water than that and let her go a little longer, okay? That's simple. All right. Now, again, how do we, you could, okay, definitely you could just kind of mix this all together, and that's fine if it's just you and the missus and the kids and everything, and nobody really cares, okay? However, if you have company, if you're trying to impress the in-laws again and that sort of thing, or maybe the wife has got some friends coming over, whatever the case may be, again, wives deserve, they absolutely deserve, 110%, they deserve us to give them bragging rights. So, when you go to do that really nice look, you're going to reach in, you're going to fill it, however much you think that person's going to be able to eat. We're going to fill right about like that. Okay, no, there. Right about like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to get another spoon, okay? Be very careful. Be very careful doing this. And again, when you do a sweat, you still might have a little bit of the juices running around. Just lay it in right on the top, okay? Now, you could definitely, if you wanted to, you could have added orange, yellow, or red bell peppers, and it would look extremely colorful. Okay, right like that. Then you get your spoon, you know, any additional things that you need to do at that point. Okay, I'm going to grab a fork, spoon, chopsticks, it don't matter, however you want to eat it, that is completely up to you. Okay, this is definitely a time, if you wanted to, you could, there we go. And then, oh, man. Now that's already fair. Now, that's simple. A rice dish made simple with just basic leftovers laying around. Not bad, huh? Again, you could add freshly grated Parmesan. You could add Asiago cheese, any hard cheese like that. Or you could even have put crumbled up goat cheese, feta cheese, whatever. On the top, you know, something like that. Avoid the cheddar. I don't think it would work for this. Dang, that's good. Oh. And Princess Faye will have this waiting for her the moment she gets home. Pretty awesome, right? And if she even brought a friend home, there'd be plenty enough for a friend. Okay? So, again, husbands, I don't think I need to repeat this at this point, but um, we got to give our wives bragging rights. And when you can cook like this on the fly, gets rid of leftovers, is cost effective, things like that, believe it or not, believe it or not, um, your wives will thank you. Okay? All righty. That brings us to the usual spot. If you really enjoyed this live stream, or you're watching the playback and you enjoyed it, be sure to smash that like button as hard as you can. Make sure YouTube knows to get this word out, okay? If you got any positive feedback, be sure to leave it in the comments box below, okay? I'm always looking for other ideas, maybe something that, especially the ladies, something you would like to see here on the Prince Magnum channel for surviving romance, or if you like the cars, hey, it's a new age. It's a new age. Okay? But if you'd like to see something, something special, be sure to leave that in the comments box below. Oh my gosh, that's good stuff. Because I'm ready to end this so I can get, yeah, y'all are interrupting. All right. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon account. We're running a special right now, a special giveaway that will be decided by August the 7th. Basically, if you want a chance for the giveaway, it's going to be a special box. I've already got some pretty nifty stuff in there already. Who knows what'll be in there before August the 7th, which is going to be my 39th birthday. Be sure to whoever donates the most gets the box, okay? A special box, kind of a special care package, is a big, giant thank you. Because we're looking for the goal of $1,000 so we can do all sorts of ridiculous stuff to Project Spirit. Because here on the Prince Magnum channel, hot rods, to get their attention, the romance to keep them. Okay? If you don't want to keep them, you're not going to be romantic. It's that simple. Also, that brings us to the usual spot. All right? Get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. They deserve it. Okay? Husbands, remember this. A man that can cook doesn't usually see divorce court. Not usually. There's other stuff you got to do. But, hey, that's another episode. And as always, for all of you out there, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how high up you feel or how low you might feel today, if no one out there has told you that they love you, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.